What is a token? It's a term that we hear a lot in the context of ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Claude, those LLMs, those large language models. But what is it really? Well, in today's video, we're going to answer exactly that question. Simply, clearly, interactively, which will be cool because you will be able to play along with me in the Tokenizer. And hopefully it will take us just a few minutes. And as always, we will take it a step further. Tokens. What are they? You ready? Timestamps in the description. Let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome for the first time. My name is Idan and I bring you the step-by-step thinking that turns AI into a paintbrush for your ideas. And sometimes I also bring you tools and terms and features review. But today we are talking on tokens. What are tokens? Here we have our presentations that I created with Gemini. It's in HTML, so we have it in the description. You will be able to click even now when you watch this video and read along with me. So we will define a token and then we will talk about how do they work or what are they in the context of LLMs. And from there we will continue to a bit more information. A token is a piece of text that has a numerical value ID, also known as token ID. It can be a whole word, a piece of word, a space, a punctuation, a number, anything that we use to write text. And the process of splitting text into tokens is called tokenization. There's something we need to understand. Okay, we define token, and in a second we will see tokens, how do they also look like in a tokenizer, which we will talk about. But we need to understand that ChatGPT or any other large language model, when we talk with it, it doesn't see words. It sees these tokens, these unique token IDs for each piece of text that we send it. We send the words, and then there is an interpreter called the tokenizer. The interpreter takes our words, turns them into tokens, to those numbers, and this is how the chat sees it, how it thinks about it and with it. And when it sends an output, it sends an output as tokens. The interpreter, then the tokenizer, does the exact opposite thing. It takes the numbers, switches them back into words, and gives us our output. This is how the chat speaks. This is how it sees things, through tokens. Why through tokens? Because whoever invented the AI saw or decided, maybe calculated, that tokens as numbers and strings is more efficient than letter by letter analysis. So we use tokens, period. Now let's see some tokens and what do we mean by tokens. We go to Google and we write Tokenizer to play around with tokens. And the first option for me is OpenAI Tokenizer. Any tokenizer might do the trick. I will move myself here and make myself a bit smaller. I think it's a bit too big. And this is OpenAI Tokenizer. Well, Tokenizer, we just said, it's the interpreter. It takes the text and it interprets it or switches it to the token ID, which is predefined for the words that we are sending. So we have here the tokenizer for GPT-4 and for O-Mini. We can look at the token, we can look at tokens or the number of tokens we have, like a vocabulary that the chat has. If we go also to Google and we write ChatGPT-4 token vocabulary, for GPT-4 there are 100,000 predefined tokens. For GPT-4o it's already 200,000. This is what gives it that extra nuance and elaboration, both in language and thought. Let's go back to the tokenizer. I don't know how many GPT-5 will have. We still don't have it at the time of recording this video, which is the 17th of July, 1 p.m. If you have GPT-5 already, good for you. I'm waiting for it for a month now. Let's start. We write hello. Yeah. Do I need to move? Oh no, I don't need to move. I'm good here. We write hello. Hello is one token, 5 characters, and it has a token ID, 24912. Now we said that everything is unique for each piece of text that we are using in the chat. So if I write hello with a capital H, it's a different piece of text and the token has to be unique. So we see, and we also see that the token is different. It's 13,225. Hello. Now the length doesn't really matter. I can write the word download, token ID 24,220. And one of the cool things about token, when we think about the efficiency that we have, is that you can make up more words with less tokens. For example, if you write the word misunderstood, which is a perfect example, it's compiled from 3 different tokens, which are also 3 different words, suffix and prefix, whatever. It's misunderstood. So now we took 3 tokens, misunderstood, and we created a 4th word from those 3 tokens. More efficient, because we can make up more words with less tokens. By the way, another cool thing, if we go back to the hello, just for the sake of it, if we go to a different tokenizer, for example, GPT 3.504, the token ID is different. Also in GPT-3 Legacy, the token ID is different because they have a different vocabulary, so how it's predefined is different. Now, we're almost done. I just want to show you one last thing. It's like a thriller. We talked about everything already. A tokenizer. What is a token? Why they use tokens? Because of efficiency. And in a moment we will talk about why it matters to us. And I will show you one thing and talk to you about another thing. So the thing that I want to show you is typos. Why do we need to understand tokens? Typos. The word download is 1 token. We can see it here. By the way, if I add a space, it's 2 tokens. Double space is a different token from 1 space, and triple space is a different token from double space. And we go back down. Typos. Typos and misspellings, they matter. We took the word download and we changed the letter N to a capital N. I don't know if you call it a typo. Something happened while you were writing. You pressed shift. Your cat pressed shift. The word is still download, but now it's a capital letter N. See what happens. We moved from 1 token to 3 tokens. Now, why does it matter? Because everything that we measure in the LLM, in ChatGPT, is in tokens. I'm sure you're familiar with the phenomenon that at some point the chat starts forgetting stuff from earlier the conversation when the conversation already gets too long. That is called the window context, the window where it still remembers things from earlier the conversation. It's measured by tokens. Just for reference, for ChatGPT 4.0, the context window is 128,000 tokens. If we take a rule of thumb that a token to a token and a half is 1 word, we understand that it means we have about 96,000 words as our context window. But we have long conversations today because we can. And our typos are eating up our tokens. Once, twice, nothing happened. But if we do it recurrently, all the time, it's eating up our tokens. By the way, there will be a video just for typos. It also sabotages our intent. It makes it harder for the chat to understand. Sometimes it really needs to go letter by letter analysis, killing our intent and uses up more tokens, both directly, as you can see here, because for the same word, we now take 3 tokens instead of 1. And also, it misses our intent sometimes because of typos. So we need to explain to it our intent, which sabotages our conversation. I call typos the silent killer of intent. We'll have a video about it. And anything else I want to show you? No, we talked about everything. We talked about tokens. What are they? How are they used? You have the HTML in the description. I want to keep it under 10 minutes. That is it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you have a question, share it. Tell us down below in the comments. I will be happy to answer your question. And remember, everything is measured not in responses, maybe they translate it to us as responses. It's measured in tokens. And as someone who uses those tools, those ChatGPTs, Grook, whatever, you, the awesome person who's watching it 10 minutes into the video, understanding what is a token is imperative to you. Even if you don't feel it now, you will use that information or understand how that information helps you later into the future. I will see you in the next video, in the next live. Share this video with someone who needs to know what is a token, and also new information is most enjoyable when shared. I was Eden. I will see you next time. Bye bye.